What's up, my people? Listen, a question I get all the time is how do I find gigs? How do I find places to play? How do I get in touch with them? Where do I start? And so I thought the easiest thing for me to do to explain that to you all would be to do it with you right now and show you my process in real time. And so, in order for me to do that, what I'm going to do actually is pull up the old random US city generator, and we're going to pick a random city right now and do it ourselves. So, let's hit randomize. Manchester, New Hampshire, a place I've never been before. Okay, first of all, let's check out Manchester, New Hampshire on the map. Now, the first thing I'd be thinking about if I, got randomly dropped in Manchester would be if there's anything nearby, larger locations. Not really seeing anything that I can recognize other than Boston, but we're going to try to keep it local for this part here. So we're going to keep this map pulled up and are looking at right now Manchester, New Hampshire. I also have this gig doc here I'm going to use. Not much to it, but it's going to be our way of keeping track of what we're up to and what we're finding. Okay, so if I were going to start out fresh in a location and I wanted to start booking gigs, you just drop me into Manchester, New Hampshire. The first thing I would do is to look for open mic nights at venues around me. Why would I do this? Well, number one, there are obviously places that are having music already. It's an opportunity to get in touch with the music scene and meet other people that are performing. And possibly, if we do really, really well, we might be able to parlay that into a gig. So let's take a look and see what we find when we type in open mic music, Manchester, New Hampshire. Now, you have to be aware that there's also open mics for comedy. And depending on how you play music, that might not be a fit. So when you go to look for open mics, you do find a lot of these open mic websites that people try to use as a service. They're not always the most reliable. Sometimes you have to sign up. Let's take a look here. Like you can tell, it's already a terrible website. Open mics in Manchester, New Hampshire. Let's see. Open mic, music, comedy, poetry at Yankee Lanes. Supportive open mic format, backline, electric drum set. That's pretty cool. So they obviously have music going on there. Looks like these are Mondays. So boom, right there, I'm going to pull this and we're going to put into our spreadsheet that we have an advertisement popping up. Oh no, I lost it. Hang on. There it is. Okay. Yankee Lanes. So open mics, Mondays, Yankee Lanes. All right. What else do we have on this website here? Wednesday, Strange Brew Tavern. If you play any style of music, please come down to the Strange Brew open mic night on Wednesday. We provide a full drum kit, bass, guitar, and amp. So when you hear about full backline, that means that the venue will have some instruments there for use. Oftentimes that means that the open mic might be a full band jam where people are going to jump in all together. So just be aware of that. Let's see here. No sign up sheet, just talk to the host and looking to jam. We have a lot of musicians that can pair you up with. Okay, so looks like this is kind of more of a band jam. We're gonna write this down for Wednesdays at Strange Brew Tavern. Nice, okay. And if you wanted to go into more detail, you could write down the name of the host. Now, when you go to play open mic night, some good things for you to know if you're new to this is that oftentimes there'll be a sign up sheet. So you're going to get there. There'll be a full sheet that you can sign up with. Now, for me personally, I don't like always being the first person to lead off with open mic night. So if you're the first person to go to the sheet, just know that you could sign up for slot 5 if you wanted to. Usually that's how it works. Looks like that's all we're going to get for this website here, but not too bad. 2 open mic nights already for Mondays and Wednesdays. What else can we find here on Google for old Manchester, New Hampshire? Manchester, New Hampshire, open mic music. What's this? Open mic with Bards in the Rocks. Looks like there's a Reddit forum for open mics. Let's see. Open mics, this looks like poetry, music, comedy, dance, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. What is this place? Hop Knot. The old Hop Knot. All right, so we got another one for Wednesdays. Hop Knot. Reddit. I just moved to Manchester, somewhat a big city, looking for spaces to go meet like-minded musicians, perform with blah, 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 blah. Area 23 in Concord has the best open mic night around. Wednesday night, man, Wednesday nights must be the night for open mic nights. Let's check out Area 23 open mic Concord. Funky venue. Now that's not actually Manchester, but it looks like it's not too far by. Okay, I see some people here. All right, we're gonna write that down too. Area 23 in Concord. Okay, so we're getting some options. We got a couple places to play at. Now, what do I think about this move in general? Playing open mics is probably your first gateway into a music scene, because immediately you're going to be surrounded by people that are in that scene already playing music, that are trying to do the same thing you are. You might find people to jam with if you're looking to start a band. You also have the ability while you're there to network. So yes, you want to go there and put on the best performance you can. More about that in a second. But while you're there, you also want to talk to the other musicians and be asking them questions. Hey, where else do you play at around here? Are there other open mic nights that you play at? What venues have live music? These are the questions you want to go prepare to ask, and have a note sheet or something, your phone's app or your notes app on your phone, where you can take down these notes and start, documenting all these places to be playing at. Because what you're trying to do is kind of like uncover this music scene that from the outside you're not aware of yet. That's why definitely open mic nights are the way to go. Casey's Rib Shack. Is this one in Manchester? Famous open mic nights. Where is this place at? Manchester. Yeah, Tuesday night open mic nights. It's Casey's Rib Shack. Boom. This is pretty great, because oftentimes you don't find this many. Casey's Rib Shack. Okay, so the other thing I'd be thinking about for open mic nights would be for you to definitely go there with the idea that you're going to put your best foot forward. Treat the open mic night as an audition. Treat it like you're going there to try out to play. And it might take a couple times going back there for them to get used to you and your style. But that's really an opportunity for you to show a place like Casey's Rib Shack here. Because my assumption is that if they have open mic nights, they might also have events. I can't discern that from their website. But oftentimes if they have an open mic night on one night, that means that there's going to be a likelihood that they're going to have live music on the weekend. So other things you can be thinking about to parlay an open mic night gig into an actual paying gig is that you have to remember that when you're playing at these places, you're getting paid money to help them sell more food and beer and alcohol. That's really what their gamble is. Obviously, these people wouldn't have you there if they don't like live music at all, except for some rare occurrences. But for the most part, they're making the bet that if they bring in Josh Jams on a weekend show, the amount that they're paying me, they can make more than that back in their event, their sales for the night, their awareness around the community that they do stuff like this. And so that's the gamble they're making. What I mean to tell you this by is when it comes to open mic nights, you should also be thinking about bringing people out if you can. Now, I realize that if you're new to an area, that's not always the easiest thing to do if you're like literally have no one that you know of. So if that's the case and you don't know anyone to bring with you, be thinking about that open mic night audience as people that you can convert to your fans, by performing as best you can, by networking with them, by asking them to support you or to follow you on social media. And little by little, you'll start to stack up these people that eventually convert to fans that come out to see you play. That's like equity to these restaurants, bars, breweries, what have you. Okay, so we got some open mic nights that we can hit up, and we definitely should be thinking about doing that at minimum here. Let's see what else we'd be doing past open mics. 1 second. Let's pull up the search again. Okay. Hang tight. Let's see if I get this. There we go. All right. So I also want to look at live music, Manchester, New Hampshire. Okay, we got a pub and restaurant, the Shashkeen. Live music is a bonus. Jewel, music venue. Okay, so for the gigging musician, there's definitely like a threshold of venue that you're going to be looking at. You're probably not going to be jumping into a original, hard ticketed event place. You're looking for a bar, restaurant, a brewery, a winery that has music pretty often. Let's check out their website for the Shashkeen Pub event schedule. Showcase 603. That's cool. Maybe it's a showcase. Garden Grove, Sublime Tribute, Friday. Trichomes, Mushroom Crowd. Let's see here. So this looks like there could be a showcase, possibly. This also would be the name of a band that I don't know about. But okay, so you're seeing here that the Shashkeen Irish Pub has music at their venue. How do you parlay that into a gig? Well, this is probably like the level 2 up from, you've done a couple open mic nights, you may have parlayed that into an actual gig. Ideally, you go from open mic nights to a gig at the venue that has open mic nights. Then you go to a place like the Shashkeen Irish Pub and you say, hey, I play at Billy Bob's. Oh, is that the place with the open mic nights? Yeah, I play over there on Thursdays or whatever. And you start to like stack these wins against each other. Now, I would go out, I'd pick a band I want to see. I love Sublime. I'd check out this Garden Grove Sublime tribute. I would be there a little bit early, 8 o'clock. People are shuffling around, getting ready. Hey, do you have the person here that books music at the venue? Oh yeah, that's Heather. Let me grab her for you real quick. Hey Heather, my name's Josh. I'm a new musician in the area. I'm just trying to meet people in the community. I came out to support the show tonight, check out the venue. It's a beautiful place here. I wanted to know if there's any chance that I could have an opportunity to play here sometime. And depending on how far along you are in your music career, you could take that conversation and either, get her email and send her some links or some music or what have you, your social media. Or another move you can do is say, hey, do you ever have music on Wednesdays? No. Could I come some Wednesday and play for free sometime? Could I play for an hour just to kind of audition for you, pull some people out, have a fun night, and see if I can kind of show you what I do? Don't be afraid when it comes to getting into a gig and meeting people and playing places to actually like offer your services for free. Now, I wouldn't play a 3-hour gig at a place, but I'll show up for an hour and rock it out and bring some friends and show them what I can do. Absolutely. Actually, when I used to play with a booking agency, that was the move they had us implore to have us go perform all summer at the Jersey, Maryland, Delaware store. So don't be afraid about throwing that out there as you're interacting with these people. But as you can see here, there are a couple of places around Manchester that have live music. Let's go back and see if we can find some other ones. Bands in town might be a resource to find gigs depending on the size. I mean, you're not going to go to the Nora Jones venue, but sometimes you can find some local people. Looks like there's a theater here. We're going to skip that. Yeah, a lot of these are often music halls or, places that Hootie and the Blowfish are playing. Unfortunately, that's probably not you yet. I'm guessing that's not you, or you wouldn't be on this video right now with me. That's okay. Where else we got? Okay, so we had the Shashkeen Pub, so let's add that to our venues list. I think that I would also probably put in this search terms here, Manchester, New Hampshire, live music, and then maybe like restaurant. Did I spell that wrong? I'm sure I did. Okay. Angel City Music Hall and Eatery. Live music bar. That seems pretty cool. There's our buddies at Shashkeen Pub. Wild Rover. Laid back Irish tavern with live music. That seems like a vibe. Let's check this out. A lot of times Irish pubs have live music. Just gotta be careful that they don't want just Irish music. Weekly live music from local artists every weekend. Check our Facebook for upcoming music Friday, Saturday events. So again, I would be checking out the Wild Rover Pub. Let's add that to our list. And I would go there. Like, I wouldn't just send them a cold email. I would go to a show. And again, while I'm there, I'm in my network mode. So I'm going to try to meet the band. Hey, how'd you get in here? This place is awesome. Oh, we talked to John. Oh, great. Could you introduce me to John? Whatever it takes for you to get through that first layer of, obviously there's going to be a bartender there. There's going to be some waiters or waitresses that you can talk to. Probably someone at this venue actually handles all the booking. And so this first touch point isn't you trying to close them and say, hey, have me next weekend. It's just like, hey, I'm just new to the community. I'm a musician. I aspire to play at places like this. And I just want to say hello and see if I can send you some of my stuff to keep me in mind for a future event. Who's going to say no to that, right? I think too many people probably get in there and try to like sell them, oh, I'm the best thing in the world. Oh, you have to have me. Or they are just too afraid to ask at all. And, there's going to be no reprieve for you if you don't actually break down that first barrier and just ask the right question. So hopefully this will help you do that. Tap room and live music to share. Brewing company. Love a brewing company. Looks like this is social media. Let me see here. Events. Taproom events. Boom. A lot of them have Facebook pages. So another thing you can be thinking about doing is, if you don't have it already, have your social media up and ready to rock. Look, open mic night at the tap room Sunday to share brewing. Add that. Boom. I'll also add them as a venue. Yeah, I think that you could also be looking at, when you're searching for Google, other places other than restaurants, is to put in Manchester, New Hampshire, brewery, live music. So think about breweries, restaurants, wineries. Strange Brew Tavern. Stark Brewing, Manchester. Has live performances. Has karaoke. Looks like Manchester has a lot of options, people. All right, let's see here. Events. Look, Taylor Marie, Jody Frawley. All right, cool. So let's put down Stark Brewing here, and I'm gonna take it to our other thought. Stark Brewing. Okay, so we have more than 4 open mics. We have more than 4 venues. And now we go to our next page, which is bands. So a thing you gotta be thinking about doing here, if you're new to a scene, is being a part of that musical community. And you want to follow those people and interact with them. And so you can get an idea of the type of people that play at places like Stark Brewing. If you see, hey, look, here's Taylor Marie music, right? So number one, it looks like you might want to go check out this event yourself. Let's see if Taylor Marie has an Instagram that we can follow. Taylor Marie Music, New Hampshire. Look here. Let's see if this is her. That looks like Taylor Marie, right? That's her, right? Okay, yes. So boom, Taylor Marie Music. She's got 535 followers. Now, why this is important is, obviously Taylor Marie was good enough to get booked at Stark Brewing. Great, go Taylor, nice job. But what we can also do is see the other places that Taylor plays at. There's no shame in kind of spying on your fellow musician and seeing, look, Corner Point Brewing, Berwick, Maine. She's playing at Cup of Joe, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. There's another place. Corner Point Brewing. We said that already. Let's see what else. Popovers. Cup of Joe, we know that place. Stark Brewing, Cider Hill Farm. So just like that, through this one channel, going to the venue, finding Taylor Marie, looking at her Instagram, now we're seeing all the places she's playing at. So if I'm in Manchester and I see that Taylor's a person that plays around my area, I'm gonna follow her, and then every time one of her posts shows up at a venue, I'm going to like her post to support her, first of all. Second of all, start following those venues on social media too, so they can start seeing my name pop up. Leaving a comment. Hey, this place looks great. People don't realize that sometimes when you leave a comment on a social media post, that you're actually kind of giving yourself free advertising, because people that see Taylor Marie's post are going to see Josh Jams below that being like, oh, Cup of Joe, they have the best coffee, and then all of a sudden Cup of Joe's like, thanks, Josh Jams. They see your name pop up enough, and then you go introduce yourself, they're going to be like, yeah, I think I heard about you. Guarantee it. So you're just kind of increasing your odds. Let's see who else was playing at the old Stark Brewing. Jody Frawley. All right. Let's see if we can find Jody Frawley's Instagram. Jody Frawley Music, New Hampshire. In the meantime, let's add Taylor Marie to the bands list. And again, you're trying to look for people that are around your, aspirational goal, which is like gigging at these pubs and venues. Jody Frawley has a website. She have an Instagram. Looks like she does. Is that Jody? Looks like it. There she is. Okay, so she's playing out places like the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City. So I don't know. She might be more of a touring artist. Marlborough, Massachusetts. Luna Bistra, Salem, New Hampshire. Okay. Webster, Massachusetts. So she's traveling a little bit more. Londonderry, New Hampshire at the Stumble Inn. Again, I'm just going down this pipeline of open mics to venues to bands, and along the way you can see how it branches out left and right on these places that you could be playing at. All right, let's add Jody Frawley to our band list. Cool. So just like that, we have now a list of open mics, and my first step is going to be to go to those open mics, and I'm going to come with the heat. I'm going to play some great music, right? That's the first and foremost thing. I'm going to practice. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to sign up right away. While I'm there, I'm going to be networking. I'm going to be asking other musicians like what their background is, supporting them. How can I follow you on social media? Where else do you play at? Are there other open mic nights I could be playing at? What venues do you perform at? You even, if you want to, at that point, can be like, hey, Rick, what roughly, like, what's the pay? Because you obviously want to know what the going rate for a one-man band solo act is going to be. But just like that, you're going to start to build your network, and you're going to get some at-bats at venues that have music. You're going to do your best to bring people out to these shows or convert the people that are there into fans that come back to support you. You're going to try to get them on your team because obviously we know that these venues want you to come there so they can sell more alcohol and sell more food. So you want to get in the habit of bringing people out to these events, and you're going to build from there. After a certain point of cachet, when you feel like you got what it takes, you're going to ask them if you could ever do a paid gig, right? If not paid gig right away, you might, like I said before, offer your services for free. Hey, do you have music on Wednesday? No, we don't. Can I play for an hour for you next Wednesday as a form of audition, and you keep me in mind for future events? Boom. Hey, if someone cancels on you, here's my number. I would love an opportunity to show up if someone cancels and fill that spot. Boom. All right, at the second level, once we're out and we get one of those booked as a gig, we're going to go to the venue level. We're going to go places like the Shashkeen Pub. We're going to go places like the old Wild Rover. We're going to go to Share Brewing, Stark Brewing. We're going to support live music. We're going to keep networking while we're there. And we're also going to ask them who does the booking, get to know them, meet them, send them an email. Now keep in mind, these places are probably booking at least 6 months in advance. So you're not going to walk in tomorrow and get a gig the next day, but you've got to get that machine rolling, the momentum building. And by the time that you get 6 months down the road, you're going to have enough cachet that you're going to hopefully be booking some gigs. Lastly, along the way, the open mics, the venues to see who's performing. We're going to follow the bands and musicians that are playing there. We're going to spy on them to see the other places that they're playing at and keep this thing going, following those places, reaching out, going there in person, offering services for free. We're going to support them. We're going to build this network organically of venues, open mics, and performers. And before you know it, they're going to keep seeing your name pop up so much that you're going to start booking gigs yourself. And that is the roadmap I would be doing myself if I was a new person, a new performer that got dropped into Manchester, New Hampshire. So what do you think? Are these good tactics? Am I missing something? Should I put something else? Let me know below. Reach out to me at josh@joshjams.com. I'll do my best to reply to those that I can. And I hope this helped out. So good luck gigging, and I'll see you out there. Until next time, this has been Gig Lessons. Thanks a lot.